Right.
Do a little swapsy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Does it look good?
Yeah, they're on there.
Okay, cool.
You got them the right way around, I think.
Yeah,
Good.
I do. Yeah, I made
Good.
sure this time.
Yeah, on the left. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and the good audio starts now. All right. Well,
Welcome.
this is a podcast that you've stumbled upon for any old. We got to get the bad episode out of the way first,
Yeah.
because the first episode's always bad.
Yeah.
What are we? What's the name of this? Half a mustache and some fashion. The fashion and half a mustache.
Mustache.
Why is it called that?
You tell me.
Well, now this is a visual thing for those of our listeners that are listening with
Yeah.
their ears and not listening with their eyes.
Mm.
I don't have a very thick mustache. It's about the same density as my eyebrows.
Why is that, Lockie? Just could
A
never
little bit of
really-
genetics,
Yeah.
little bit of not trying hard enough. Good old college try on the old stasho there, but
Yeah.
And why what's the whole fashion side of it? Is that your end or is that also my end? Is this
Well, we can make it both.
Oh, okay.
Eventually, maybe.
Well, there's a very snazzy shirt you're wearing there,
Yeah,
Mel.
thanks. Rocking the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Love some of the
Tonight.
Chili Peppers. Flea, he's a cool guy.
Yeah,
He knows how to play an instrument.
yeah.
Nice one. So Mel, what do you do? Why am I here? Why are we here? Why are we holding an umbrella? Has
Well,
any
for
podcast
starters,
started
it's
with
raining.
an umbrella?
Yeah, so, well,
Well, one.
I think this
at least.
just, like, sets the scene. You know, we're in Melbourne. Lockie's based in Melbourne. I'm not from Melbourne, but I'm based here now.
And here you find yourself. It's
Here
the
I
most
find
Melbourne
myself.
weathery day we've
Yeah.
had.
Yeah.
Well, humid.
Humid, raining. I'm a bit chilly. I know you're not feeling it.
I like it. I like
You're
the breeze.
hot-blooded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm living it up.
But, you know, it's nice. There's no wind. Can't complain, Lockie. Can't complain.
And a little bit of rain. It was getting
I
a little
made
bit
some
serious before.
stitzies here for you.
Yeah, great. Now,
I don't know if
some
we'll maybe
what are
save
they
them
called?
for later.
Kristinskis?
Pastizzies, they're like a mini pie.
A mini pie.
They're Maltese.
And who's made those?
Well, I bought
Methinks
them.
Mel, maybe not. But you
I
have
didn't have time to make them,
acquired them though,
but they are delicious.
and they are here.
I
They're
have
present.
to say.
Like you and I
Yeah.
are present here, and they're also present. So that's
Yes,
good.
yes.
Fantastic.
We've got some wine. So should we cheers to our first episode,
Yes, I think
of-
we should,
the fashion and
and
half a
we'll,
moustache?
and we'll be very quiet to get a very audible. It wasn't great, but I'll take it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Mm. It's some Pinot Grigio.
It's great, and it almost
Um,
tastes like a
Mm.
23 vintage.
Sure.
Yeah,
Actually, can't remember. I just bought it from BWS.
I'll take that
yesterday,
50-50.
So
That's a good chance of that.
yeah. Mm.
All
But-
right.
Excited. Let's get started.
Well, what are you doing day to day at the moment, Mel?
Look, day to day is, working on. Oh,
Are we meant to share this?
sure. It's
You're
actually not
talking.
raining anymore.
Okay.
We could ditch the
Do you wanna-
umbrella.
Okay.
It's literally not
No,
raining.
not over the balcony.
Not over the balcony.
Right.
Yeah. So day to day, I'm actually in accounts. Hence the business side of things. Studied some business, studied some beauty, studied some fashion.
So you're in the business of beauty, you could say.
Business, beauty, fashion, you name it.
Yes.
Obviously.
But you
So-
still account the accounts
Yes.
and you biz the beauty.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you got a few things on the you got a few spinning
I'm
plates
jack of
here.
all trades, Lockie.
But
yeah.
yet we call you Mel.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, the fashion, really.
Well, the fashion,
The fashion.
not half a
so-
stash.
No.
That's my end of the bargain.
That's yours.
And I'm keeping
yeah.
that bargain
Yeah.
until who knows? Maybe in the future they'll invent something to
Yeah.
get these roots coming up.
I'm
But,
sure there will be. Look, that's where the beauty side of things comes in. So
And
hopefully they'll invent something there. Look, they've already got stuff for, lashes, brows.
what do they got for lashes these days?
There's like it's like a serum that you apply, and it's supposed to promote hair growth.
But you got like one row of like, what if you blink when you put it on? Is it gone immediately? Do you have to keep your
It's
eyes
like
open?
putting on like mascara. So it's like a brush. You get like a brush, and then you brush it through your brows, and yeah.
What is it? Very viscous gel. It like really sticks to the lashes.
Yes and no.
Do you have to limit your blinks per minute, or what's the go? Well, I just want to know what the technical limit. Like, do you like? Oh,
Have
I
you ever
sneeze.
put on
I've
mascara?
wasted.
Did you go through like a bit of an emo episode when you were younger?
No, I never even touched the guy liner.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't
Yeah,
delve.
okay. Then you don't know what it's like. Yeah. Look, maybe I can show you one day.
We'll
I
have to
actually
crack it
have
out.
some, so
You do.
I do.
Well, we'll look at
I
that
could
down
give you
the
some
road.
to test out.
Because I'm so concerned that women spending this money on these fantastic serums and potions, and like if you sneeze too hard and you clench your eyes too hard, is it like, oh, I've got to reapply, I've got to start from the beginning again?
No, but if you do the, like a brush against the brows and it just messes up the whole thing, then yeah, you've got to do it again.
Right. So once it's set, you've got to forget.
Pretty much.
So you don't regret.
Like, don't go there.
Don't
Pretty
go
much.
there.
Yeah, don't.
That'd be really tough.
Yeah.
I think I get like, especially with the flies these days.
Which is why, I personally like to get dressed and then I'll do my makeup.
Right.
To avoid any of the head, the
Cross contamination.
correct. Yeah.
Right.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, that's fair. I like to brush my teeth before I get dressed so that
Yeah.
I don't ruin my outfit, because
Yeah. Okay.
there'd be spittle going everywhere. Like those electric toothbrushes.
Oh, there's nothing worse than like when you're dressed and then you just like some just happens to like fall out and you're just like, how
We can't be trusted.
did that happen? And you just have like this white blob. There's
And you
nothing
can't
worse.
get that out.
There's
You can't
nothing
brush
worse.
that out.
Yeah, no. It's like wearing like a really nice white outfit that you bought and then you just, go for dinner.
And you drop your
And you
black
drop
lipstick
something.
on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. Or something else. Or something
Black
else.
lipstick.
I was just thinking of the worst thing to get on it.
Or wine.
Or wine.
I feel like wine is the worst. Or like some kind of red tomatoey pasta dish. That is
Yes.
like horrendous. Like you might as well throw that top out.
Well, I've always wondered, like, if you had like a stain that was too far gone, could you? And like, those like patterns you get on bus seats and those like time zone arcade things. You know how like they've got all that noisy pattern stuff.
Yeah.
They use that so that you can't see all the stains and all the kid
Correct.
dribble and everything else.
Yes.
Could you, if the stain was too far gone and you're like, the bleach will never work it, or it's not the right shade,
Yeah.
could you stain the rest of the garment
Hmm.
to then make your own camouflaging? Well, it can't be one thing, because you'd notice someone being a slob for a long
Yeah.
time before they would
Yeah, look, you
come out with
could
an outfit.
just dye the entire outfit, but it just would never look the same again.
That sounds like a challenge, because I think now we should see if we could get a white blouse.
No, my mum has like the perfect remedy. Like she is a stain whiz. Like I don't know how she does it. So I'll be like, oh my god, this stain, like I just can't get it out. Like for the life of me, cannot get it out. And mum will just be like, just put some hand soap on it.
Hand soap, soft
And I'm
soap.
like, what do you mean? And she's like, just, a couple of pumps and you just like, rub it in.
A cup of pumps.
Couple
A cup of pumps.
Couple of
A
pumps.
cup of pumps.
Couple of pumps.
Couple pumps. Okay.
And
I'm with it so far. Keep going. I'm
yeah,
almost,
and you
yeah.
just, really work it in there
Right.
and chuck it in the wash.
Right.
Or
Do you
hand
need
wash.
one of those washboards? Or is that too old timey?
That's pretty old school, Lockie.
Right.
Yeah.
So you
I
wouldn't do
don't-
that unless you were like a crunchy mum or...
Yeah, I don't know who does that
Homesteading.
anymore.
Yeah. It's coming back. Homesteading's coming back. You got people
I mean,
out
you
there
might as
who
well
are-
just beat your clothes on a rock. Like,
Well, I think
how they did it
that's
back in the
simplifying it
old
a little bit, Mel. A little bit.
just go down to the river and, yeah.
goes down to. There's a song that goes like that, isn't there? And I can't remember the rest of it, but it's a good start. It's a good start of a song.
Yeah, okay.
Could be a good song. Well,
Go
that's
down to the river.
yeah.
Yeah, I think there is something
I think there's a lot of
Yeah,
songs that start that
about
way.
a river.
Yes,
Mm.
yes. This is a non-fact checking podcast,
Yeah.
so the details that we come across, if it sounds convincing, we're just going to have to roll with it. So,
Yeah.
that's
But what
just how it's
about
gonna
you,
be.
Lockie? Tell the people what you do.
I'm a little bit of an enigma. The definition of that word escapes me, which I think adds to the angle of being an enigma.
Yes.
I love contracting. Contracting's fantastic because you get an ABN, and I tend to be a bit of the IT stuff. I've set up these microphones here. I'm
This is all
gesturing.
Lockie.
I'm gesturing. This is a visual reference
Yeah,
to
this
people
is
who are listening
me.
again on the pod.
This is Lockie.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a little bit intermingled, but
Mm.
clear divisionary lines.
Yes.
That's how it's got to be.
Yeah.
So, yes, I contract. I have some of the most unhinged clients. They're all fantastic. I love them dearly, and I fix their problems. And there are so many problems.
And you
I've-
fixed a few of my problems.
Well, that's just a benefit of being in the realm of
Yeah.
someone who does IT
Yeah.
or does contracts. It's mostly technology, which is good. But it's good, you know. You have an ABN, you get registered for GST, and you have to do so many mountains of paperwork, and you look up, can I hire
So
someone to do
much
this
fun.
for me? And it's so
Then you can.
expensive.
Yes,
But
it is.
we do try. But yes, so even today after this podcast, it's getting pretty late. I've only got 2 more clients that I've got to see today.
Only two.
Yes, and one of them
Yeah.
I've just got to help this gentleman turn on his smart TV. He doesn't know how to turn it on. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm really hoping that it's just he doesn't know, and it's not going to be a case of there's something terribly wrong with it.
Yeah.
But we'll see. The guy smokes like a chimney, so I'll have to wash my hair twice tonight.
Okay.
Tends to stick with you. That cigarette smoke,
It
the tar.
Sure does. I don't know why, but like it's like when you go when you used to go clubbing, you'd come home and you would literally smell like an ashtray.
How's that? You been out recently? Like, what's it like with everyone vaping? Like, do you come home
Oh my
smelling like
God.
a mango nimbus or
It is
something?
it's disgusting.
It doesn't. There's like an after
It doesn't
smell.
smell though. Like I didn't come home smelling like, cigarettes.
Well, that's a plus.
But I didn't, yeah, like, but again, like, vaping is nasty.
They got some great names for the fluid though.
And
got,
they're
like,
doing it everywhere, though, like, on the dance floor. I mean, technically we're outside, but still, like, there's a whole bunch of people on the dance floor and you're just getting this smoke in your face and it's just, oh.
But
yeah.
it's not cigarette smoke. I mean,
It's not, no.
Although I've looked at some of the names, they've got like turtle blood and pale nimbus.
Oh, I haven't looked at any.
They're-
Are you serious?
Well, they're pretty unhinged because I mean cigarettes have always been like a bunch of dudes in suits that have big tobacco leaf farms, and they're only so creative. But all of this like tobacco juice or nicotine or vape juice, I'm pretty sure a lot of it's getting made in bathtubs, and those guys just have some really cool names for
Yeah.
making clouds of smog with your dogs.
I don't know, but I didn't appreciate it.
No, you didn't appreciate it.
No.
No.
Like, just because they want to do it doesn't mean that I want to, like, inhale their after smoke from
Yeah,
their mouth.
Like maybe if it was first hand, it would be different. Like maybe if they handed
yeah,
you a
I
vape.
know, but, like, it's just, like, people just blowing it in your face and, yeah, you're just, like, trying to
TMI.
dodge the smoke and, yeah, it's just not for me, Lockie, not for me.
Not for you. Is there anything that you do that impacts on other people day to day?
I don't know, Lockie. I pretty much just stick to myself. Yeah, I'd say no. I would say that is a hard no. What about you?
Well, you can always strive to improve.
Maybe my driving impacts other
Whoa.
people.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. You got a zippy little car and you...
I do. I zip in and out
Zip,
of traffic.
zippy
Because I'm
Nell.
super impatient.
Yes, well, I mean, the traffic around here is pretty horrendous
Yeah.
in the undisclosed location in Melbourne.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I think it's because I just don't drive that much. So when I do drive, I'm like, get out of my way.
I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. It's it can be pretty tough to have to put up with other people's lack
Yeah.
of decision.
Yeah.
I dislike the people that slow down
Yeah.
and then when you think, oh, they're having a medical
Do
emergency.
you know what?
then they
I had a guy slam on my car the other day.
with his open-handed or closed fist.
Open hand.
Oh, unforgivable.
And I'll tell you what happened. So there was like an intersection. And
Where?
look, I don't know if it's like this in Victoria, but in Queensland, you don't have to give way to any pedestrians unless it is a pedestrian crossing.
Right.
Like in Queensland, people look out for cars. So if there's a car coming, you stop, let the car go, and then you cross the road. Right? That's what it's like in Queensland. But okay, so I was this is in Moonee Ponds. So
Right.
yeah. So
Notorious.
yeah. So anyway, there's just this long, street. I'm coming up this way. So
This is a lot of visual
T.
references for those
to
listening on
T.
the pod. Mel is currently making a T with her hands.
T gesture.
As
Yeah.
if to somehow exemplify what a T intersection is.
Yes.
I'm barely keeping up.
So yeah. The pedestrians are coming, so they're on the left-hand side. I'm looking to my right because I'm seeing if there's cars coming.
Naturally.
So they're like the last thing on my mind. I saw them there, but they were still walking up. They had not stopped on the corner yet.
They hadn't stopped.
They hadn't stopped. They were still walking.
Yes.
So I'm driving up. They're walking. There's cars coming this way. So I'm watching out for these cars on the right. Again, not paying any attention to the pedestrians on my left.
No, why should you? Exactly.
Right. They can wait.
They
So
can
it
wait.
was a couple,
Yeah.
and they're walking their dog. And so I pulled up, because there was cars coming, waiting for the cars. And I actually drove up a little bit because there was a car parked and I couldn't see. So I had to drive up a little bit.
Right, you had to peek
further.
out a little bit. To
Yeah, I
get
had to peek out.
get your peepers out there a little bit.
Exactly.
I'm with
so
you.
they had more than enough room to just walk around my car.
You're saying they had their fair allotment
Yes.
to make their choice.
Yes. And as they were walking behind my car, that's when I hear this massive thud on the car. And I just looked to my right and I gave him the worst look. And I don't know am I allowed to swear on here?
No, not yet.
Okay. So
We're currently
I just
TBC
went,
rating
what
pending.
the
So you used a word
Yeah.
that you might regret.
Yeah. And then he started swearing at me, being like, oh, like, I don't even know what he was pointing at. But he was clearly pointing at something, like the road. And I'm just looking at him like, you're an idiot.
I'm feeling that. Is that the look you kind of was doing?
That was
a
the
little
look.
bit of a
Yes.
double furrowed brow
I was
people.
literally just like, are you kidding me right now? And so him and I are exchanging words. I was that angry. I didn't even have time to wind down my window. So I'm just
No, so you're
yelling
yelling
at this
you
guy.
and you're getting a little bit of splashback because the window's down, so
Yeah,
your
but
ears are ringing.
But then his wife or girlfriend or whatever the hell she was flicks me the finger.
Well, sorry, Mel just put a
Oh.
certain finger up. We will blur that for those who are watching at home.
Sorry. So, yeah, and then I felt like even the dog was like giving me looks, and I was just like,
Was it their dog?
Yes.
So this is a 4-person interchange already. So we've got now. I'm just reading this
I
as
felt
a
very ganged up on, and to me, I wasn't in the wrong. Was I in the wrong?
from your description, no. But I'm curious, just to because I think it's always important to see what someone else's point of view would be.
Okay.
And this is just my opinion.
Yeah.
You're a pedestrian.
Mm.
You're there with your beautiful girlfriend, wife, de facto partner, and you're out with your little puppy dog, and you're out for a little walk. And then this car is just in the middle of the road doing something. Who knows what? Traveling, waiting, indicating. No one could be sure.
Yeah.
And then you decide to slap on the back of the car to say, hey, have yourself a great day. And then you've gone given immediately, without any warning, a double furrowed brow with a little bit of a squint. And then you mentioned a swear word. I'm just thinking, could you have escalated the situation beyond what it should have been?
Definitely not.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to ask the question.
I saw his face before I said what I said.
All is
and it
forgiven.
definitely was
Mel,
not
I'm so sorry I didn't see it so clearly the first time you explained it.
Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't a have a great day slap.
Well, I know because you knew.
It was
from
a very
the sound
aggressive slap. I can't do it obviously because we're going to mess up the audio, but it was a very aggressive slap to the back of my car.
I can tell because you could tell me, and I don't even think you were looking, but I know that you knew it was an open-handed slap.
It was an open-handed slap.
Because that's louder than the closed-handed fist.
Yes.
That's just a little bit. It's a little bit different, and it carries a different sentiment with it.
Had I had my window down, Lockie, I can't tell you what might have happened.
I can only. I fear to imagine. I fear.
It wouldn't have been pretty.
Look, I mean, well, you've already started off with one swear word. Who knows where it could dishevel to from there? It's quite scary.
And it's one thing that I'm trying to improve on, because I can get a little hot-headed.
Little hot-headed. Well, Mel, let me tell you, there's this fantastic new invention. Air conditioning. You've got climate control in your car. Yeah. Most people don't know this. You've got two vents in front of the driver's seat, but you've also got two passenger ones. If you don't have a passenger in the passenger seat, you can just direct those little puppies right on over to your peepers. That'll cool you right down. You get some cold air on those eyeballs. That will drop your core temperature by like 2 degrees.
I must try that next time.
Well, they're right there.
It seems to be the only place where I get extremely frustrated. In the car. It's hot.
You're in a glass box.
Wild.
There's nowhere to run to. There's nowhere to.
Look, even with the aircon on, it's.
Oh my goodness!
Someone does something and look out.
Well, that's a very sobering look into the. Now, I'd like you to do a traffic report every pocket. We know Moody Ponds isn't doing so well, but what about Pakenham? What's going on down there?
God, I have no idea.
Sure, something's going on down there. I mean, if that's Mooney Ponds, I don't want to know about Pakenham. Something's happening.
All we need to do is just go for a drive around the block.
You saying we do a little whip around?
It's crazy over here.
A little whip around and do a few manies. Check out what's going on down the main streets.
Yeah.
Down the main strips.
Yeah. Yeah. Even like in those, community watch things that they have on Facebook. People are losing their mind.
I think it'd be great if we gave them the time of day and really thoroughly investigated what they were reporting. Do you know the amount of helicopters that have been recorded? Just people saying, why is there a chopper above my place again?
Really?
Could we spend our resources to look into that? What are all these helicopters?
I don't know.
What are they looking for?
I don't know.
Who are they looking for?
What
are they doing? I don't know.
That's sus. I haven't heard of that one yet, Lockie.
We just need.
I've just heard about crazy people near the river.
Near the river.
Down
by the river.
They said to a couple that were walking around the river, there was, two guys just driving around and...
Down by the river.
A couple were walking their dog. Hey, maybe it was the same couple.
Maybe it's the same river.
Maybe that's what, tipped them over the edge. Who knows? But apparently there were these two guys in their car and they held up an axe and were like, that dog looks like it needs a good whack or something. Yeah, they held up an axe. What is this world coming to?
Well, I mean, to say I get whacked with an axe, that's a hell of a fast way to get a headache, I'm sure.
Apparently it wasn't the first time. Because, then you read the comments and, there was another one. Oh, that's just been reported in in where was it? Footscray.
Mm.
So I don't know if they were driving around here and then go on a Footscray, and I don't know.
Well, I'm sure they're driving around somewhere.
But with an axe. So watch out, people. Watch out.
There's people, and they're out there.
That's why I don't want to walk around or run around the river like crazy hours.
Would you stroll around? Like
No.
a stroll, like you got a little bit more confidence in a walk.
If it is like, I would love to get up early and go for a run, like in the dark, or like a late night run.
Right.
But you can't do that. You
can't.
do that.
It's not allowed anymore.
No.
Even I myself would not.
It's too dangerous.
It is. And I found the only thing when walking down, and this takes me back to my time when I was working in the city, and you'd be coming home late, and you'd see a gentleman who is yelling his head off about exactly like that. Something loud and obnoxious, and something vaguely government fiscal policy related.
Yeah.
And I found one thing that worked really well is to just act more crazy than them. So I was saying, I can't believe this. Can you believe this? That's what they're doing to us. And I hadn't really accused anyone of anything.
You just said they.
I just said they. And I think that's what I strive to be, is generally dismissive and in general accusatory, but nothing that I could get hit with a libel case,
Yes.
Just in general, someone's doing something and something's got to be done about it.
Yes.
And he really picked up on that energy and he said, all right. And then he kept screaming. So I just felt like it was two trains in the night. He got that I was upset about something and that he was upset about something.
So you were both just upset and venting.
And we were too busy to talk or have an interchange. So he's like, he gave me a little
nod.
He might have been
get you.
on a
He was
substance.
like,
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of like, yeah, all right, I'll handle this end of the block. You handle the end of that block. You've clearly got this sorted. Sorry, I don't mean to intrude on your territory. And we kept going. And
fair enough.
I felt great. The adrenaline after pretending to be crazy is, I think everyone should try it, because you really feel in that moment crazy.
Yeah, look, I've had some instances where I just haven't felt safe personally.
I had no idea where that sentence was going to go. I was going to think maybe that's why you don't take walks down the city anymore. It's,
No. But you know what I do?
What, Mel?
I just stare.
You just stare.
Yeah. And it's almost like the fact that they know that you're watching them and you can see them and you know that they're about to do something shady. It's like they just give up and they're like, no, okay, she already knows.
I completely agree with that. That's why security cameras, I think
they
stopped.
like to catch you off guard.
I think so too.
Yeah.
They think, maybe they haven't seen me. But that's why security cameras, I think, work so well. Like almost all crime has been completely stopped just by the idea that Big Brother's watching.
Exactly.
And that's why almost no crime. That's why Melbourne's so safe.
Yeah, well,
because someone's watching. And hey,
it's safe but also not safe.
Well, exactly. I mean, you could sock me in the nose right now, Mel, with an enclosed fist or an open-handed hit. Either one. You could do that. But you're thinking in your head, Mel, you're thinking, Lockie's watching me right now. Not only that. Maybe, just maybe, someone else is too.
Yes.
And in 30 to 40, maybe an hour, after they cross-reference some footage, speak to the police, they could be knocking on my door.
They could.
In a matter of days to weeks. They could serve me a piece of paper. And in 2 to 3 months, I may have to appear in court. And that is what stops you from socking me in the nose. That's just my appraisal of the situation.
Yeah, well, yeah, just don't piss me off and you'll be fine.
Well, hey,
but
it's a two-way road.
Yeah, okay.
But that's right. I think we're doing well so far.
No more wine for you.
No, well, I've been.
You're on the water.
The wrong decanter here.
But it is a lot more unsafe for women than it is for men.
When
I was, training for a marathon back in the day, I remember this woman, she knew that I ran in the morning, and she pulled me aside at the gym one day and she said, "Don't you ever run early in the morning when nobody's around. And I was like, why? What, what's the go? Like, I always run in the morning. And she said, I've been attacked twice in Port Melbourne by two different men.
Port Melbourne.
Port Melbourne, two different men, same area, so along the boardwalk.
Yeah.
And she said they just attack you because they think you're tired. And she goes, I just screamed my head off and fought like I've never fought before because they were trying to pull her into the car.
Oh my word.
And she said that eventually they just let go. They gave up. So, yeah, never again. After she told me that, I was like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, no, I think.
But it did happen. I remember I was walking to the gym early morning because I wanted to do a spin class, and the spin class started at like 5:30, I think, from memory.
So
So
just
it was
a little bit in the
around
morning.
5 that I was walking.
Right, so
And
almost
it was dark.
lunchtime.
It was winter.
Oh, earlier than that.
Yeah.
Yes, I got you.
Yeah. And so it was like really, really dark, like this dark. Probably darker than this.
For those listening at home, it's just about sunset, would you say? I think we're in a cloud currently,
Yeah.
at least at dusk.
It's night. Like it's nighttime, but it seems cloudy.
I think we're in a cloud.
Yeah. Anyway, and this man slowed the car down and was just having a good old stare. And I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
He's using your technique.
Yeah. And then,
Can't have that.
no.
It can only be one.
But I also stared back.
Ah.
So I knew. I was like, okay, this is weird. I'm getting bad vibes. What the hell am I going to do? And I was like, don't panic. Nobody else was around. It was just me and him. And he drove past, got to the end of the street. And I was like, don't turn around, don't turn around. He turned the car around, came back. And I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I kind of just like froze up. I was like preparing myself for a fight. Like I was like,
fight or flight,
bring
you're
it on,
choosing
bitch.
fight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I was like, what am I going to do? I'm going to gouge his eyes out. I'm going to kick him in the balls. Like what, all these things just run through your head, And then I was like, oh my God, like don't stop the car, like I'm thinking like, I'm preempting this, like what he's going to do. And then he drove past, turned the car back around, came back again, and I took off. So as soon as he was going that way, I ran that way. I just bolted. I've never ran so fast in my life. Had my gym bag and everything, but I like just bolted to the gym. My heart was like pounding.
I'm sure you probably went like 10 minutes late because your workout.
I don't know if he was trying to suss out if I was a prostitute or something, because like there were like a lot of prostitutes and things like that, like St Kilda, like Ackland Street, that kind of area.
Oh yeah, that's gonna, yeah.
Because I used to live on Barclay Street, and they, they never scared me. Like they were fine, I used to say good morning to them in the morning. They were lovely.
That's very nice of you to do.
It was the men who would go to them that would scare me. Like, you just don't know what they're going to do. Anyway, and so I was like, oh, maybe he thought that I was that. But, like I was fully in my active gear. Like,
ready to, thank goodness.
Ready to go to a spin class.
Yes.
So, I don't know. But anyway, so yeah. And then she told me that, and I was like, okay, yeah, no, I'm not doing that again. Never went to the spin class that early. I think I started going after work, but yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a few people still burning out around that time.
Yeah, so I was definitely a little bit riskier when I was, younger, but you learn from that stuff.
Yes.
And you see too many things too, like when you live in areas like that, like, there's the good parts and then there's the not so good parts that you see as well.
Absolutely. I remember even when I was quite a polite young man, and I started working in the music industry.
Yes.
And I used to wear this lovely green jumper. It was kind of like a mint green. It was very green, and it had some lettering on the front. And one day I decided to take myself out for a treat down across at the car auctions in South Melbourne,
As you do.
as I do.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was crossing this very long, like 6-lane crossroad thing, no traffic island or anything, I see a gentleman on the other side who looks a little rough around the edges. And he's locking eyes with me. The little green man goes off. Very fitting, as I was also wearing green. Mel. It was very matchy.
Yeah.
And I'm crossing the street because I'm like, I've only got half an hour for lunch. I need to get a little walk in.
Yeah.
I need to get a little lunch in.
Yeah.
And then I need to return to work
Yes.
within that 30 minutes.
Yes.
So I'm crossing the road. I'm approaching the halfway point. He's looking at me. He begins to crack a smile. I have no idea what to expect.
Oh my God.
He comes up to me. We're just about 2 meters away from each other. And he says to me, "Have you ever been?" And I said, "No, thank you." And I kept crossing at an increased pace.
Okay.
And when I got back to work, I'm like, oh, guys, I've only worked in South Melbourne for maybe 3 weeks. And this guy's asked me, "Have I ever been? What does that mean? Is that code? What does that mean?" And they're like, "Gosh, Lockie, you're a bit silly sometimes. Have you looked what's on your jumper?" And on my jumper, sure enough, it said Montreal. So even though I didn't answer with the actual correct response for, I'm sure he was wondering what the hell I was talking about.
Yeah.
But I still felt like no thank you was, I don't particularly want to go to Canada.
Yeah.
Or Montreal for that fact. But, I still think it was a pass in the social situation. Incorrect answer, but, I got out unscathed.
Yes.
With
well.
minimal teasing from
all
my
you can hope for
workmates.
in those scenarios.
But yes, so that was my first delve
Thank
into
God.
the deep, tender underbelly of South Melbourne.
Yeah. Okay. Is that the worst? That's the full brunt of what you experienced?
Probably about a month later, I saw my first genuine drug deal.
Oh.
I was waiting for the number 1 tram. It was about a 10-minute walk from, anyway. And I'm sitting there just at the tram stop, and I see two they were really fashion-wise, Mel. They were wearing like white t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
They were wearing blue jeans, and they looked a little bit that had a bit of a rough go at it. A rough go of it, I should say. And they were looking very suspicious, eyeing around, looking around. And there's a lady coming the opposite direction. And she's kind of looking a little bit shady herself. And they seem to kind of be slowing exponentially as they come to meet each other. So there was a traffic island. They meet in the middle of this traffic island, and they do this really kind of weird hand
brush of
thing.
The hands.
And then they turned around and went back from whence they came. And I thought to myself, well, that's really dumb. I mean, if you're going to have a drug deal, like, see on TV, they leave a little bag and they slide it across, and there's a little bit of finesse, but that was just, I mean, if you're in the middle of a busy intersection.
Very anticlimactic.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of like, well, that wasn't all that scary. Very strange and very inefficient, but wow, that was my first one. So I ticked that bingo square off my card, and I put a feather in my cap, and I kept waiting for that tram.
Oh my.
It was a little bit late.
Yeah.
About 2 or 3 minutes late, as they tend to be.
Always.
But that was the small part of that story. The important part was the drug deal that I saw.
Yeah.
I don't want to overshadow that with the fact the tram was late by just a few minutes.
Yeah.
Only 2 or 3.
Okay.
Good.
Well, that's pretty extreme.
It was.
I mean, I think the most extreme thing I think I've ever seen was I don't even know the correct way to say this anymore, but
Is it French?
No.
Okay, that's a good start. Wow, we're really cracking open the old dictionary tonight, Mel.
Yeah.
Burning through all these topics. We're not going to have a season 2.
And
Sorry.
she was egged by people driving past. And
Well, that is
then
not a very
she-
nice thing to do
No.
to anyone.
But then she threw a rock through their window, and it escalated from there. So
Well,
then
that
they
in
got out
itself
of the
was an
window.
escalation, but please continue. Yes.
Well, then they got not the window. They got out of the car, and went to rough her up a bit. And I was just hearing all this yelling and banging and clanging, and I'm going, what is going on down there? So then my friend was over at the time, and her and I just opened the door, and we just saw it all unfold in front of us, and it was so crazy. Like she had a needle. She was gonna stab them with the needle, and they were like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! She's got a needle!" And then the cops came, and then we could hear their version. We could hear, the version.
Or the individual. Yeah, sure.
I don't know what to call. I don't know if it's
I
a
think
he,
once you mention
she,
it once,
I don't know.
you
I
can
don't know
say
what we do. Like,
you can probably say like, and that individual who was beset upon.
yes,
It's a few more words, but
yes.
gee, we're
We
trying
can edit that out.
to keep in the
we
PG
can
bracket,
edit that out.
at least for the first episode.
I don't know what to call them.
That's all right. Well,
I'm trying to be politically correct here.
gonna have to bleep out a lot of this. People are gonna wonder what we're talking about. And you have to blur your lips too, so they can't see.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's what happened. So yeah, and they were just lying, and then her story, yeah. So basically, they saw her, just thought it would be fun to throw eggs on her, and she had enough and threw the brick.
Well,
I
you always
don't
have that
blame
option.
her. Yeah.
I mean, I always get concerned about escalate. I've been in a few situations where, you have the choice to escalate,
Yeah.
And look, it's always a tempting option. But I always think to myself, well, gosh, I've picked up maybe a rock now or a big stick, and I'm about to throw it. When they get hit by that stick, are they going to say, oh, you've bested me, you've escalated once, and that's it, that's enough of my medal?
Yeah.
I'm always worried that they're going to say, oh, we're going to play a little arms race, are we? Let's see what else around here is sharp and pointy.
Oh, God.
It's just, I like seeing that one extra step ahead and you go, I could retaliate.
Yeah.
I could take it to the next level. But are there any other levels around?
Yeah.
It's great being in Australia because guns aren't growing off trees. So you're not going to have some youngster climb up one and
Yeah.
cut one down with his, little nibbler teeth and go and take a pop at you. But
Yeah.
yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, just about everyone out there, I wouldn't recommend escalating. That's
No.
I mean, Mel
You
can do
wanna-
what she wants.
You want to
It's
steer
her life.
clear of the Well, it comes down to just pure human decency, Lockie. If people just had common sense,
If they just left their eggs at home,
yeah,
they wouldn't have egged her. I
That's
think
right.
because they were there, it
Or
was
if they just follow the road rules,
You're right. If you want to carry eggs around, that's your business. Keep them in the car, people. But no one else wants to be egged. Make them an omelette. Throw some eggs in a pan.
Exactly. That's what it's for.
Exactly.
So, moral of the story.
One of the we've gone through a lot of content tonight.
We have, yeah.
It's, this first
Have
one
we
is
gone
unscripted.
overtime?
I have no idea. Are we going to have to edit that out because we haven't gone over time?
Oh, I think we have.
I think we've done about 40.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Well, all right. Well, I guess we're going to record for the next 2 minutes for some behind the scenes stuff.
Shall we, get you trying one of these pastizzis, seeing as though you've never had one?
Yes, we'll try a pastizzi.
Yeah.
A pastizio.
So we have peas, which I think is this one.
We should probably wrap up the episode first, so then we can
Sure.
go to the
let's
behind the
do it.
scenes.
Yeah.
So
okay.
so as we
Thank
rehearse,
you so much.
thanks for watching Fashion and Half a Stash. Gosh, it's
See you guys next time. I don't know what we're going to talk about next time. You'll have to stay tuned.
probably scripted. Won't want to miss that, guys.
Probably, yeah. Bye.
That's good. That's good.
Are we done?
Well, I guess we got like the behind the scenes.
Okay.
Like,